Hello viewers and other possibly bored people who click this video. My name is Ruthless Raptor, but you can call me Ruthless. To get to the point to prevent boring you, I'm starting this YouTube series off with reading aloud my own published book, Rise. Now it's available on Amazon for both hard copy and a Kindle copy. I'd say $6 to $7 is a fairly cheap price for a book, so I hope after this video you'll at least take a look at it. If it's not up your alley, that's fine. Now, I know I said I was reading Rise out loud, but I'm only going to read up to chapter, otherwise known as Mission 9. It's the first half of the first half, I guess. First off, let me just read to you the summary that is on the back of the book, and then we'll discuss some of the more important parts of the universe as we come across them. Run, fight, save the world. Amber Jackal wakes up one day frozen in a cage of ice. After her escape, she discovers the world as she remembers. The sky is eternally dark, buildings are destroyed, and a species known only as the dinosaurs have taken control. But who's running this whole operation? On her quest to rid the planet of the dinosaurian infestation, Amber will work with old friends and new allies. Easier said than done when there's false accusations. Not to mention there's someone on the hunt for her head. Now I know you must be asking, Ruthless, what in the ever-loving world is a dinosaurian? I'm glad you asked, my friend. Let me explain it to you. They're anthropomorphic dinosaurs, ranging from the smallest raptor height of 6 feet to the tallest Spinosaurus height of 12 feet. Yeah, they get pretty big. Anywho, they could also have wings and also can use magic. They also have their own language known as Dinosaurian, which I won't chicken out of reading aloud, hopefully. Anyway, on with the reading! Section 1, Guardians. The Prologue. Everything was freezing cold when Amber Jackal blinked open her eyes. Metal bars covered in frozen droplets of water greeted her. Amber looked around confused. Where am I? What is this place? Surveying her surroundings, she realized that she was probably underground. Walls covered in buttons and switches stared back at her. The only problem was that she was currently stuck inside of a cage, no keys in sight. How the hell am I supposed to get out of this? She groaned. Looking around the cage, she smiled as her eyes fell on a long, thick scrap of metal. Amber picked it up, but just as quickly dropped it in surprise at how cold it was. FYI, there is some cursing in this, and I will be saying it out loud, so just fair warning on that part. Of course it's freezing cold. I'm in a frozen cage, after all, she chided herself as she picked the shard up again, this time prepared for the shock of cold metal against her bare hands. Amber slammed it against the bars with a deafening clang, and, after several more hearty whacks, the first bar finally splintered. I hope I don't freeze to death trying to get out of here, the copper-haired girl worried as the bars slowly splintered one by one. The last bar in front of her shattered. Amber crawled through the entrance, barely making it out of the small hole. The metal remnants clinging to the remains of the cage cut into her sides. Standing up, Amber looked at one of the deeper cuts, her sides already throbbing with pain. This may cause me problems later on. I better find something to cover it up. Looking around, Amber found herself faced with 4 hallways, each leading into darkness. Guess I'd better find my way out first, she sighed. Amber searched 3 of the 4 hallways to lead... Amber searched 3 of the 4 hallways. 2 led to complete dead ends. The 3rd led to a door that opened right into a room with no floor. This better be the right hallway or I'm doomed. Amber noticed several posters on the walls. Squinting in the darkness, she managed to make out some of the shapes on the paper. Anthropomorphic dinosaurs? But that makes no sense! Amber grabbed one of the posters and rolled it up, holding onto it in case she found a better place to analyze it. She secretly hoped that what she was seeing was just her imagination acting up in the darkness. Amber kept thinking about what she saw in the posters as she walked. Why would there be dinosaurs? What was this place? Some nerd hangout? But that doesn't explain why I was stuck inside of an ice cage. The girl shook her head. First priority was to escape. She could figure out the why later. Noticing an even stranger poster than the one she was holding, Amber stopped and stared. It was one of those propaganda posters with pastel versions of a person's face. This one had a girl with crazy hair and the word obey written at the bottom. Why do I feel like I know you? And not in a good way. Many turns later, Amber still hadn't found another door. Just hall after hall of propaganda posters. How far does this go? I'm going to die here, Amber mumbled, only to slam straight into a cold, hard surface. Resounding clang made her realize it wasn't a wall, it was a door. Letting her eyes adjust after smacking her head into a metal door, Amber reached for the handle and pushed the door open. She winced as she moved her arm, looking down to see the blood splattered on her sides. She had completely forgotten about the injury she'd sustained upon exiting the cage. They seemed to have dried, so she was all right for now. Inside the equally dark room lay computer equipment and a giant dormant screen. Cobwebs filled the corners and covered everything. Gently pulling off the cobwebs and wiping the dust away, Amber squealed when she found a white, hollow face grinning at her. She sighed in relief when she realized it was only a skull logo for her company. She placed her hands on the desk and instantly shut her eyes from the harsh light that attacked her eyes, and the screen sprang to life. She blinked open her eyes and gasped at the images on the screen. Footage of large reptilian creatures attacking people on the street, blood, falling buildings, rows upon rows of mangled bodies. The horror seemed to go on forever. The sudden montage ended with the propaganda poster of the girl. The room went dark. Amber lingered, rage flowing through her. I'm going to find you, and I will end you. Whoever you are, I will not obey. Pushing open a large metal door, the red-haired girl stepped into moderately warm air. Amber found the exit, but had to spend a decent amount of time tracking down the key to escape. A small key card that opened the locked door at the end of the compound. Thankful that the chilly hallways were done with, Amber looked around and sighed. She had been hoping that what she had seen on the screen showing the condition of the outside world was wrong. It did nothing to ease the heartache the girl felt when she found out that it was true. The carnage was much worse in person. Corpses were close by and left the air smelling rancid. Broken glass and other bits of debris littered the cracked streets, and the streets themselves looked almost as if an earthquake had taken place. Amber looked herself over now that she could see, and her eyes landed on the unbroken watch on her wrist. How did I not notice this? She growled, fiddling with the watch and looking at the time. What? Amber stared at the time, unable to believe that what she was seeing was the truth. Around her, a starless night sky shone, but the watch read exactly noon. There has to be some mistake. Maybe it's not functional at all. It's completely unreliable. Pushing the idea of the watch out of her mind, Amber started to walk around the destroyed area, trying to figure out where she was and how she got there. Great. I'm lost and have no idea where I could possibly be. I don't know what's going on, and the only explanation I have is a creepy video and a poster of things I can only assume are real that I'm currently walking around with, Amber grumbled, tripping on bones and small stones as she walked. As she turned the corner, she shrieked and jumped back in surprise. Gun barrels stared down at her as she backed away from the group of people dressed in ragged clothing and scant pieces of armor. We're not going to hurt you, a tall man in front said gently, his voice muffled by the helmet. He reached up and removed the battered helmet he wore to reveal a middle-aged man with graying hair and a kind face. What's going on? Where am I? Who are you? Why are you carrying guns? Question after question spilled from Amber's lips as she tried to make sense of her situation. Calm down first. What is your name? The man asked. Amber Jackal, the girl stuttered out. Well, Amber, I'm Captain Reynolds. Pleasure to meet you, the man introduced himself, offering the scared girl a small smile. I can answer your questions, but we must get out of here. It's not very safe, Reynolds continued, ushering her in the middle of the group of men and women. Amber was unsure of how to feel. She was timid because she was surrounded by people she didn't know, and yet she felt that they were safe. One of the women noticed the dry blood on Amber's sides and helped her clean the wounds up as well as bandage them. Reynolds led the way, making gestures to the others that are obviously signals of some kind. The destruction seemed to grow the farther they walked. Amber could barely stomach what she was seeing. Bodies that only just started to rot, skeletons, blood, hands or other limbs sticking out beneath fallen debris. Everything was horrific. Amber felt tears well up in her eyes and forced herself to look away. She couldn't do anything for them anyway. Amber kept silent, even as questions burned her mind. She had a feeling that if she said anything, something bad would happen. After a while, the debris started to die down, and so did the bodies lying in the streets. The red-haired girl watched with wide blue eyes as a yawning hole in the ground came into view. It led underground to a long corridor of tunnels where splotches of blood could be seen, some looking fresher than others. We need to be fast and quiet when I say go. We all run, understood? Reynolds ordered. The men and women nodded, and Reynolds looked to Amber for confirmation. She nodded as well, still confused at what the danger could possibly be. As Reynolds counted down on his fingers, Amber heard something that made her head snap to the direction of the noise. No one else reacted until she screamed. What is that? Amber shrieked, pointing to what looked like a blue and white anthropomorphic T-Rex. The dinosaur had been sneaking up on them, but had stepped on some glass, alerting Amber to its presence. Everyone get to cover now! Reynolds shouted, grabbing Amber and ducking behind a rock as a blast of ice slammed into the ground where she had been standing. More and more, the anthropomorphic dinosaurs appeared, snarling and throwing different elemental attacks. Shit! Reynolds growled, pulling out a pistol and handing it to Amber. Know how to use one of these? He asked, ducking away from a strand of electricity. No, Amber replied, peeking over the rock in fear, holding the gun awkwardly, but away from her or anyone else. Simple. You aim, you pull the trigger, Reynolds explained. Amber ducked down behind the rock, staring at Reynolds in shock. You actually want me to shoot one of these? She squeaked, holding the gun in the air and pointing at it. Yes, I'm expecting that. Not a lot of time to explain, but if you want to join us and be safe with us, you need to use one, Reynolds replied, shooting a dinosaur with his own weapon. You have got to be kidding me, Amber groaned, looking back over the rock at the terrifying dinosaurs. Better get my act together. Even if I don't stay with them, I need to get over myself and help out. She leaned over the rock and fired a bullet straight into the skull of a yellow-gray dinosaur and running at one of the other team members. Amber sat back down, staring at the gun in astonishment. How the fuck did I do that? Nice aim. That electric one has been causing us a lot of problems, Reynolds complimented her, not even fazed by her quick learning. Not bad for a newbie. I have a feeling I'm not as new to this as we both may think, Amber thought. Here we go. Here's the dinosaur. Tara Yolan. There you are, a snake-like voice hissed behind Amber. FYI, the translation afterwards, the English afterwards, is the translation of what they're saying. They don't actually say that. Just clearing that up. She whirled around and shrieked, bringing the gun up and threw it in the raptor's face. The raptor smacked it away and stepped closer to her. Amber barely registered Reynolds shouting at her to move. The raptor swung its 5-fingered claws down towards the girl, and she brought her hands up to her face on instinct. What the hell? She heard Reynolds shout. She opened her eyes to find the dinosaur had flown backwards several feet and landed on its back. How did that happen? Amber looked around frantically for the gun, and her eyes landed on something else. It was another propaganda poster, except this one had her face on it and the words "Wanted dead for $200 million." Amber screamed, jolting upright in a bland room save for a bed, a bookshelf with a few books on it, and a nightstand with a see-through tablet sitting on it. The red-haired girl gasped a few times before calming herself. Why do I keep dreaming of when I first arrived? And that's the end of the prologue. And before anybody gets mad at me like, oh my god, it's that dream trope, blah blah blah. Look, it's not actually a dream trope. It's her remembering her arrival, so it's a memory. Is she just dreaming of it? Trust me, it gets better after this. And I mean, I got some time, maybe I could read some more. Nah, I'll save it for another video. But, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you come back for the next video. Leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to. See y'all later.